You already know what it is. Time to go. Let's do it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy Professor Smith back in this bit, trying to get active. Looking at a weekend analysis for the week of 9/11, 9/11 through 9/16. We're gonna see what we can do, how we can get active, and how we can take advantage of these markets. Yeah, it last week was um joyful, I guess you can call it. I had some success, some failures. I know things that I should have done differently. The same things I always should have done differently. Wait a little bit longer and then hold a little bit longer. So still working on those, progressing through those on a daily basis. Um, yeah, just finished the last week trade recap since I didn't make any video content last week. Got that video trade recap out. So go watch that one. Check it out. It's got some, a couple gems here and there throughout. And then on this video, we're looking to see how we can potentially get active for this week. So weekend analysis coming through first. Starting off with AU, higher time frame. We are bearish. Looking at supply right down here that pushes into demand. We got the reaction, the retracement of this impulse move from the higher time frame. We were looking to see if price action will continue back to the downside to continue to make that new lower low. What we are seeing is price action react from demand and now retracing this impulsive move from this high to this low. We're now starting a retracement phase of that whole expansion leg to the downside. So what we're looking for is to see potential areas from this impulsive legs from the high to the low, see where price action retraces, how far it will retrace, how deeply it will retrace back within this range, and then potentially resume higher time frame trend of lower lows and lower highs. But currently, lower time frame is bullish. We currently have closed above 1, 2. No, not necessarily 2, but for the most part 1, because when you look at the structure on a 1 hour time frame, you got the high, low, lower high. Break of this low gives you the new lower low. Potential new lower high equal low, new lower high, lower low. So the new lower high zone from here down here created a new low. We pulled back and failed to create, but then created a new high. So we broke above structure on the 1 hour chart. And like I said, when I see closes above 1 hour structure on 1 hour chart, I'm starting to look at a chart as potentially getting ready, trying to reverse potential retracement. Not to say we're going to continue to go bullish and break above all these highs, these lower highs back here, but bullish on a lower time frame to where we potentially catch the retracement of this whole expansion to the downside to then turn back and resume back bearish. So just with the charts being blanked out like this, can kind of already see a little head and shoulders pattern forming. This being the left shoulder, the head, right shoulder starting to form, come back down and potentially go higher. This whole impulsive move here, the 50% area is somewhere back up in here. So potentially once we do, if we do continue to go bullish, we potentially see price action stall out somewhere up in here, shake up some liquidity, then resume back bearish. If none of those happens and we continue to go bullish, then we're just gonna follow the trend. I don't know that all of those scenarios could play out next week. Will they play out? I don't know. I just know those are the thought processes that I would have coming to the charts, looking at price action, seeing where price is coming from, where we're trying to go to, and how we potentially can get there. If we come out and just continue to just leak on AU, then definitely have to jump back out to daily, weekly to try to line up a zone to the downside here. Kind of already analyzed. Haven't really gone below and seeing where price action has pushed to, seeing as that we ended the week bullishly. So kind of wanted to wait for price action to, start to show me big expansion moves, 4 hour moves, lower low, lower highs before trying to find targets to the downside. But because we are currently bullish on lower time frames, we'll start from there. So on a daily, like I said, we know we're bearish. Lower high that created a new lower low, breaking structure looking left. We have the pullback of this range. Then we started to resume back structure on bearish. Now we retested demand and got a reactionary move to the upside. So eyes immediately are drawn to this area, since you got the high, low, lower, low format on the 4 hour time frame. But from the daily standpoint, this is how it looks. And when you go down to the 4 hour time frame, this is that same area, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. And when you bring the analysis back, we kind of got that outline here. that lower high area from the 4-hour time frame that pushes into lows here. And what we're looking at now is price action breaking above 1 hour structure here, looking left and pushing back into that supply that pushed us into demand. So ultimately, if we don't stop here and continue to make higher highs and higher lows, we got continuation buys coming to retest here, and then final destination is all the way back up to the top for where price action came from. So yeah, hit the reset button here. And okay, so close above 1 hour structure, create a new 1 hour chart high. So 1 hour time frame, that's what it looks like. So coming from the weekend open, what we're gonna do, since we got these 15-minute resistance, 15-minute support right down here, not necessarily needed, but it is something that kind of gives you it can kind of help build patience as you look at the chart and say, okay, well, I'm gonna see, because price action is just in the middle. It ain't really hitting supply or demand. So this could break out either direction. But I know for sure on a 15-minute time frame, if we break, okay, if you're looking higher high, higher low, higher high, we came back and retested the previous higher low area on a 15-minute already. And we reacted bullishly. We did not continue to make a new high. So that's a important factor to take away from it, that we have retested demand on a lower time frame and did not continue to go bullish, but we also didn't break through demand and continue to go bear. So that's the first thing I'll be looking to waiting for on AUD USD to see if one of these 15-minute areas get broken, and then we'll go from there. If we break to the top side and run back into the supply zone, feel some of these imbalances from the higher time frames, then yeah, it's definitely a sit and wait to see price action roll back over to the downside to take shorts. If we break below here, definitely looking to see if price action comes back to the structure most recently broken right up in here, or if we come deeper into some type of demand down here in the lower time frames and then resume back bullish. So pretty in the middle type situation right here on AUD USD. Over on Bitcoin, I think I'm in early on a possible retracement to fill this gap, this imbalance right down here. What I noticed was on the higher time frames, pushing, making higher highs and higher lows. On the lower time frames, we're pushing, making higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure, looking left. We came back down into supply when you zoom all the way up to the higher time frames and gave this big reaction. So I was looking for the retracement before to see if price action continues bullish back into this untested supply zone, looking left from the higher time frame. So saw price action coming to this 4-hour level here. Started to slow down, started to throw wicks within that zone. So then, start to map out the price action patterns on the lower time frames. You got the high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So on the 15-minute, this is the higher low that pushed you into the highs. We came back to retest, and we did not, so far haven't broken above that area that we created previously in the market. So as we came back and stalled out, I identified an area on the lower time frame here where price action came and wicked me in. And so far we're, pretty much at a break-even point, but some of that pretty loud. If we break above this 21,800 level, definitely seeing price action continue to go bullish. Do have a target area, like I said, right up in here around 23,600, where I think it's reaching for once we break above this level. But if we don't, we start to pull back a good bit. I'm looking for all this price action right here to be corrected. It's BTC. Sometimes it moves proper, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it can consolidate right here and just keep pushing bullish. You never know. But with the psychology and thought process I have behind it, let me take a quick little scout short. If we come down here, start to stall out at this 15-minute level, definitely stops in the profit. Can't break through this 1 hour support, definitely stops in the profit, potentially even get out, because we know from this area on a 1 hour time frame, this created a new higher high, and all this move coming back down into it would have just been a retracement to push price even higher. So ultimately, should be looking for buys, but there's a high possibility we might get a retracement right here. So very, very, very tight stops, especially for a BTC trade. See what we at, 69 to 790, like 10 pips, 100 pips, however you want to count that shit with BTC, but I look at it as like 10 pips. GJ pretty funky. When you go up to the higher time frame, you overall notice that GJ is consolidating. So what I did was just went to the 4 hour time frame and just kind of just marked off the most recent structure as far as higher highs and higher lows because it is pushing bullish. So that's why I marked it off as higher highs and higher lows instead of lower lows and lower highs. We are consolidating back in up here up until this point. Price action was bearish here. Retrace came down, failed to break the low. So we're responding from some type of demand right down here on this level. And as you can see, based off the 1 hour chart, we closed above structure, came back down, retested that demand that created from this demand, and we got a big bullish impulse to the top side. So like I said, because it's consolidating on the higher time frames, I don't have an idea of are we going to continue bullish or go bearish. So from the 4 hour price action that I have here, this is the 4 hour support level that created the 4 hour high. Looking to see with this 1 hour support here line on the 1 hour chart or creating on the 1 hour with the support creating on this 1 hour chart here, we see price action creates the higher low and create the higher high. We've already retested that support and potentially failing to break the high. So if we get a substantial close below 164.270, I got breakout shorts. No breaking retest, completely breakout shorts back down into this unbalanced field from the higher time frames. I got to identify the balance field, but 162.294, we can see how that potentially plays out. But you definitely want to see a strong close below this level. See how price action came in, big bearish wick, and then resume back bullish. So you want to wait for that. If we get that close and price action continues to come down, potentially getting out here, because once we start getting back down to this level, potentially expecting a bullish reaction. See if price action continues with the low, high, higher, low, higher type format, higher, low, and then continue to go back bullish. Outside of that, not 100% sure on what GJ is about to do. Like I said, seeing as how it's consolidating from the higher time frames, kicking over to GU. Had an excellent analysis 2 or 3 weeks ago on GU. This is where we were. We were looking to see. We identified price action being bearish on the higher time frame. And if you go back to like 2 or 3 weeks ago, weekend analysis, we had this 1.114309 area called out. Because once we saw price action break through this level, we knew that's where we were going based off of structure, looking left, creating that new lower low. Now, with this price action here, we haven't necessarily closed above any 1 hour structures to say we're going to pull back deeper to the 4 hour supply zone that pushes into the lows, but we have, pretty much come up to that area and started to consolidate. So potential break and retest buys back into either the structure most recently broken or this supply area from the 4 hour time frame where price action pushed into the lows. I don't trade GU, but I would like to come back throughout the week and see how this sets up, seeing as how, definitely had the trade thought process idea from up here to come down here and it came right to it. So, yeah, ultimately the range supply from here down into demand, 50% of that entire move lies somewhere right up in here to where that 4 hour resistance is. So definitely we'll have eyes and attention glued to that area, probably even put the alert down into here to say that if we break and close above this area, potentially we're coming back deeper. For sure, it's around this level, potential selling area. Yep, we like that. But if we close above here, then potentially coming deeper back into supply, that pushes back to the downside. So, yeah, overall, could potentially start off opening up as a bullish week for GU. I have not really looked through the pairs to kind of do any correlation to kind of see which pair is showing more strength, which one's showing more weaknesses. But just trying to get through this weekend analysis right here. The game that came on is the weekend, so kind of late getting this out, but it is what it is. On NU, overall bearish. Higher time frame supply that pushes into the man. 50% point right here, this 4 hour resistance. Currently pushing into 1 hour resistance, kind of like GU, AU. Yeah, not 100% sure where price action going to go from here. So definitely just going to follow the structure based on the 15-minute time frame. We got a support. We got a resistance right up in here. If price action breaks below this 15-minute support, definitely looking back down into here to see where price action potentially could grab liquidity from, come back and retest the demand zone, imbalance, potentially see if we can resume back bullish from somewhere down in here. If we just continue to go high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, potential new higher, low, higher, high, then we'll play it based off the 15-minute structure back into this 4 hour resistance level back in here. 81 pip range, definitely enough to get some scalps, hold the trade, do whatever you need to do, get active within the chart. So pretty much waiting all the setups right now, pretty much calling for waiting pretty much type of ideas. Everybody or all the pairs somewhat seem like they're in the middle of the range right now. So Definitely. Nothing is close to a demand or close to supply to really call out and say, "Oh, this is where I think price action is going." Looking at UJ is funky. I don't really like UJ. Just trying to draw this up. You just you'd have to definitely follow the trend from the higher time frames. We're looking at price action being bullish, higher high, higher low, new higher high. So this is our range here. We're playing within 50% of this range, pretty much down here, this 4 hour supply. So I ain't been able to catch up to GJ or UJ in a little minute, but continuing just to follow the structure. We got the 1 hour supply area that pushes, or 1 hour support that pushes into the highs. So we have resistance right up here. 15-minute support level, resistance level. If we break the 15-minute resistance or support right down in here, definitely looking to see what kind of reaction we get from this 1 hour supply level, and then from there, potentially could come back deeper, because then we'd be breaking 1 hour structure to the downside. Potentially could come back deeper to retest where we came from on the 4 hour time frame. So potentially we have some shorts below this 1 hour supply. We'll definitely wait to see. Let me see. Continuation sales. We're gonna break and retest off this zone simply because you do have a little bit of a demand zone right up in here. Price action could come down, grab the liquidity that's resting up under this level. You got a good bit of equal lows chilling right up under there. So definitely could see a wick to facilitate back to the highs. So definitely want to see a break and retest below this level before taking shorts back into this 4 hour support level. And then you can, look left and see more liquidity and kind of see how price action could manipulate through that level and then push back to the top side. So pushing over to gold. The gold came filled in balance we were looking for a couple weeks ago. What I'm expecting here, we got a 4 hour resistance down into support. We've already pulled back for the most part 50%. So like I said, pretty much everything's in the middle of the range right now. So definitely um just following the structure from the lower time frames, high low, higher high, push a higher low, um, higher high, break a structure here, come back, fail to create new highs. So we got to see how price action responds from this little demand zone right down in here. You see, close the bull, yeah, so still that would be kind of tricky. We closed a new structure on a 1 hour chart. So potentially definitely waiting to see what price action does around this 117, call it 1710 area, 1710. Breaking close above about 1725, 1727. Definitely could expect retracement back into the 4 hour support level, but I don't trade gold like that. Y'all already know that. So, potentially we just waiting. I think probably about with football season coming up, and being or trying to stay focused with this challenge that I'm taking through Aerial FX. Um, I think what I'm gonna be doing is be doing my normal weekend analysis, trade recaps, but probably be looking to go live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, looking to get active within the market live. Anywhere from about 8 o'clock to about 9 o'clock, 7:30, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time to about 9 o'clock. Looking for trade ideas and possible setups. So I don't think I analyzed anything on S&P. When I went back to look at it, definitely was, still pushing bullish. So definitely just following the lower time frame trend, just to see, because like I said, we in the middle of the range on a lot of these. Um, we got a 4 hour resistance that puts us into the lows, came back, broke above 1 hour structure of this downtrend here. So definitely could be looking for a retracement back into this little area right down here to the 1 hour support before resuming back bullish. And then, if we break above 1 hour resistance, potentially could be coming to refill this imbalance right here. So a lot of different possibilities coming up within the markets here in the next short time. There's definitely a huge range you could act from, but you would definitely have to be in front of the charts. I would not put a buy stop above this level, expecting it to keep going to fill that range, especially without some type of retracement first, grabbing some type of liquidity from the downside to just push through that level. So it could just potentially just chop back and forth, correct through that level. Um, yeah, so if we get a break above this 1 hour resistance, I would like to see a retest and then break of that high that broke through this run. I would just potentially catch the buys back into that imbalance field and see if it can continue to go higher. Yeah, probably the same thing on NAS. And then I know I didn't mark up GA. So overall, pretty couple setups. Definitely looking on AU. Definitely keep my eye on GU this week because I like the way this is setting up for that retracement to drop again. UJ definitely not. That last one was S&P, so yep, want to do that one. Keep an eye on that one, and then GJ funky within that range, so not necessarily probably be hanging on that one too much, but for the most part, that's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching. You got questions? Hit the Telegram, hit the comment box. You know, call your cousin, uncle, friends, and tell them we get active. You know, we smacking trades over here. This was all the trades from the trade recap video that I dropped in the group from where I was getting active. Just this one wasn't necessarily really focused on lot size, more just on concepts and ideas of where price action was going to come to, where it was going. Pretty much kind of testing how price action reacts to these supply zones, and trading them off to 1 minute. I had this sell limit. I had a few other positions in here that I closed before we got the leakage into the TP. Um, before we got the leakage, and then I had buy limits down there from the bottom as well. From down there, price action leak, and then all the way up past TP plus on to where we are now. So ended up getting out of this one early. I got nervous, and yeah, we back to where we at now. So um definitely thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Like and subscribe. I'm out of there. Peace.